Punish. Yo, it's me, it's CSCOTT. Yes, time for a Christmas review. I got the tree. I got the tree. Punish. Santa's over here. Santa's watching. Santa's waiting. Santa doesn't fart anymore because the batteries are dead. So we're talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night. I wanted to do these last year. I didn't have a way to watch them except for 3, 4, and 5, and now I have a way to watch them. So we're talking about the first one. It came out in 1984, and it was controversial because it was actually pulled from theaters. The thing is, it actually bested. It was actually doing better than Nightmare on Elm Street before it was pulled because of, parents complaining about a killer Santa Claus. And one of the major complainers was actually Mickey Rooney, who would end up starring in the Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. It would actually dress as a killer Santa Claus. Who knows? And so, before I continue though, this is my Christmas setup. That is a TV back there, but I was getting the shine off of it, so I was going to have a towel on there when I do the reviews. So, so there's no shine. But yeah, this is the Christmas setup. I wanted to have a Christmas setup and a Disney setup, and I didn't want to keep on taking things. And I had put my Christmas tree up anyway, so here it is. I'm trying to find the ornament. Usually goes on top. If I do, it'll be up there, but I can't find it right now. But, so, Silent Night, Deadly Night. It was a story of Billy Chapman, whose parents were killed by a serial killer dressed like Santa Claus. And now, Billy, he goes through this, he's gone through this trauma. He and his brother are now in an orphanage owned by Mother Superior, who I think is far more of a villain than Billy is, really. I want to keep saying Ricky, and we'll get to that in the second and third ones, but I'm just saying. She's far more of a villain than Billy is. She knows his trauma with a guy dressed like Santa Claus killing his parents, but she forces him to sit on Santa's lap. She's diabolical. There's these two people that work there. They're having sex, and she spanks them. But because Billy caught them doing it, she also spanks him, which makes no sense. I guess, when you're in like the church system, that could be considered as lust. But just barely watching someone have sex shouldn't be worth punishment, especially if you just a kid and stumbled upon it. Yeah, he gets lashings on the bottom for it. I don't know, but he grows up and the orphanage, they have him work at this department store, and again, I think that Mother Superior is a bit of a villain here because she didn't tell her nun to tell them not to have him associated with Santa Claus. And yet, that's what happens. They have him dress up as the store Santa Claus. And of course that leads to terrible things. He comes across this couple in the back. They're about to do it, about to have sex, but the woman says no. The guy forces himself on her, and Billy kills him, but then kills the woman because she starts yelling at him. He adopts the catchphrase "punish" and "naughty," both catchphrases, and that's really mostly what he says through most of this killing spree. And while you can take some of these murders as he's doing it. Like, he kills the guy that's about to rape the woman, but then he kills the woman too. He kills the teenager and her boyfriend who are having sex instead of her watching, or she's a babysitter or something. Kills them. It's Linnea Quigley, so she's topless, and she gets pushed onto these deer antlers, which is a cool kill. Another one, these bullies take this leg from these other kids, and he chops off this one kid's head, and he just comes sliding down with no head. That's a great kill. But of course, the cops are on the search for a killer Santa Claus, so they just go after every Santa Claus. Really, they burst in on this dad dressed as Santa Claus in the room with his daughter, and she's like, "Daddy," and it's Don Shanks from Halloween 5. Played Michael Myers in Halloween 5. And then they kill a priest dressed as Santa Claus just because he's dressed as Santa Claus and walking up to the children. I think cops should do a better job of asking questions first. You're supposed to say, freeze, don't move. Give them a chance to respond before you just shoot them. Right? That's just stupid. But Billy does eventually show up because he's going to kill Mother Superior, which he rightfully should because it's her fault. If she had actually helped with his trauma, instead of worsening it by beating him for no reason, and then forcing him. I understand sometimes if it was like a fear, then help him get over the fear. You force it upon him, but not when it's directly connected to his parents' death. And then you force this Christmas stuff upon him. It's her fault. If she hadn't tried to force this, she didn't abuse him, and if she didn't try to force him into this Christmas stuff, I understand Christmas is supposed to be a happy time, that's fine. But with his trauma, no. She created this killer. Especially with the lines punish and naughty, which she kept instilling on him. She created him, and she deserved to die, but she didn't because he gets shot right in front of his little brother, by the way, who then looks up and says, naughty. And we'll follow him in the sequel, and let me tell you, oh, okay. Once we get to Ricky, let me tell you. But how does Silent Night, Deadly Night stand on its own? Well, I enjoyed it. If you like, 80s slashers, you'll enjoy it. But it's not like one of those traditional 80s slashers like the early ones, like maybe the Prowler, where it's just, you get a little bit of exposition and then it's just killing. There's character development throughout the film. You understand why Billy is doing this. You understand it's a logical point of conclusion where it ends. You're not just having a guy run around the house saying, Colonel Chatham, Colonel Chatham, Colonel Chatham a million times. This is a logical story. His parents are killed by a guy just like Santa Claus. He's forced into all this Christmas stuff when he obviously doesn't want to, and he's punished. He's abused by Mother Superior. He finally snaps when he's forced to be a Santa Claus for a department store. He kills people, and he goes after the person who's responsible for creating him, Mother Superior. It's a logical step. If only he had killed her before dying, but that would have completed his story. But as it stands, we got a cliffhanger for the second film. We'll get into that in the next review. So, what is my rating for Silent Night, Deadly Night? I'll give it a 7. I think it's decently made. I don't think these films are going to be high tier. Okay? So, a 7 is probably the highlight of these films. Really. But, yeah, it's enjoyable to watch. You'll have fun with it. It's a cheesy 80s slasher. So, what are your thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Night? In the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one. Punish!